Hi, I'm Ben Wheeler, and I'm running for Somerville City Council at large. My career as a technology educator has been about solving problems, improving systems, and increasing access and opportunity. I don't just teach technology, I've built tools used by thousands of students and educators. Running a small business, you cannot just accept things the way they are. I've had to listen, I've had to learn, I've had to ask a lot of questions. Most importantly, I build understanding together with others, and I insist on a working culture of quality and follow-through. That's what I want to bring to being a Somerville City Councilor. When I knock doors, I like to ask residents, how would you describe Somerville, your Somerville, in a single sentence? In some other places, a question like that might earn a blank stare. But here, people leap at the chance to tell me, Somerville's a great place to raise kids. Somerville's a place where I can be myself. Somerville's still a working class town, if you know where to look. Somerville's the greatest place I've ever lived. I love that. Why is this place so special? In the simplest terms, we're about 80,000 people, and maybe that's enough on its own. You don't need to know more than that to know it's worth standing up for. But there's something extra here. People throng the streets here for Honk, Art Beat, and Porch Fest. People know their neighbors, their neighborhoods. We don't just sleep here, we live here, we walk here, we sit on our steps and say hi to people passing by. We go to local bars and restaurants and storefront churches. I mean, this is a place where people are not just excited about their local grocery store, they're fanatical about it. And if you get 10 Somervilleans together, you can count on 10 opinions. I love that. Somerville's not just a city, it's a spectacular city. And we deserve a spectacular government. That might sound silly, but look at our civic participation. The incredible energy, expertise, and dedication from a huge number of active community groups. That's spectacular. And we do have a lot of spectacular city staff. And we have people making long-term commitments to public service here. People with an ethic of professional duty. But we all know that sometimes it's far from spectacular to deal with city offices. For every interaction where someone's ready for your question, where they get back to you, where they give you their full attention, there's another, where no one returns their calls or emails, where every conversation feels like the first time they're hearing about it. It can feel like no one cares. Meanwhile, it's harder than ever to juggle housing costs, healthcare, and work. I'm trying to stay safe when walking, biking, or driving around the city, or trying to catch a bus that never seems to come on time. It's doubly hard if you're a parent, like I am, trying to make it to your job when you have kids in need of preschool or childcare or after school. And that's why responsive government matters. We know that persistent problems aren't going to be solved overnight. Often those involve conflicting interests that need careful balance. But residents deserve to see their issues genuinely acknowledged, genuinely understood, and actively worked on. We don't want to be holding our problems alone. And a first step is for folks in city government to acknowledge that those problems are real. So some issues are about balance, like development versus displacement. And we can't let developers push out beloved local businesses and jack up rents. But we also can't freeze the city the way it is. Our businesses need more foot traffic since the pandemic, and more people are simply interested in moving to Somerville every year. If we don't build new homes for them, they're going to outbid people for existing homes. Another balance, bike safety and parking. Thankfully, safe bike infrastructure helps reduce the need for cars, allowing families like mine to get by with one car instead of two. But when we redesign streets for bike lanes, we can't do what we did on Central Street and take out all of the parking. We need a balance. Other problems are a matter of acknowledging that some problem is real. Here's one. Our schools are not always a place where our students say they feel safe. They don't always feel safe around the schools when school is out. It's uncomfortable to say that, but we have to address it openly. Things have improved, thankfully, in that regard, but we have to push ourselves not to grow accustomed to the status quo. And finally, some problems require trying something new. Negotiating with developers for affordable commercial spaces is a new idea that's well worth exploring. And we all understand that some 911 calls need a trained mental health response, not an armed officer. Addressing those will take collaboration and humility, but also bravery. I'm not always going to have the answer when someone tells me something's not working for them, far from it. But I promise to acknowledge problems honestly. I promise to work to understand them deeply and to address them and assess them independently. That's what I've done my whole career. I'm not running to deliver all the answers to City Hall. I'm running because of all the people around the city already doing patient, incredible work to make Somerville better. I'm ready to roll up my sleeves and join in. I would appreciate your vote in the preliminary election on September 16th and in November, and thank you.